Hi guys, it's Andy from Nismo Tech UK. Today we're giving an unboxing and overview for Antec, and this is their GX500 case. Okay, so let's start by giving you a tour around the box itself. We've got a front-on image of the GX500 here, Antec branding on there. On this side here, another image of the actual case itself. It mentions we have got two USB 3.0 along with a fan controller on there as well. On this side, internal layout of the actual case itself. And then on the back here, we've got a whole host of sort of a split out diagram, which obviously covers the actual features of the case. So it can accommodate extra long graphics card, you've got flexible cable management, a couple of USB 3.0, there are three 120mm fans included, 6 fan mounts for multiple cooling configuration, ready for closed loop liquid cooling, removable washable dust filters, CPU cutout, 2 fan control switches and toolless drive bays. So let's now get it out of the box. Okay, so let's look around the outside of the case to start with. We've got a punched out panel here, which obviously will enable you to fit a slightly taller CPU cooler. We've got room for a 120mm fan here, obviously with the grill that's actually on this here, but quite a nice looking panel itself. Moving around to the front, you can see that we've got this very nice mesh area up at the front here with the Antec badge. We've got a 3¼ bay there if you do want to fit like a mini fan controller or something like nature, and two 5¼ bays up at the top. And on this side we've also got another punched out panel, which is obviously going to mean that they provided you with a little bit more extra room for cable management on that side. Moving on to the back of the case, you can see the pre-installed 120mm fan down here. You've got a little bit of cooling going on down here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI slots down here, with a little bit of sort of ventilation, a bottom mounted PSU, and obviously your IO shield will go here. And one thing I do want to point out while we're on this side of the actual case, up at the top here, we have got an open and lock feature, which basically slides across, which will enable you to actually take the cover of the actual roof off a lot easier. So if I just stick that to the open section, I'm not quite sure how it comes off, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. Looking a little bit closer at the bottom, you can see that we have got this fan filter over the actual PSU section down here, which is quite simple. You just basically pull it off, slide it out, and you can then actually obviously clean the actual fan filter. Quite a nice material. Should be very easy to actually keep clean. So we'll just slide that back into place. Also on the bottom here, we've got these sort of plastic ridges that obviously keep it off the actual floor itself. There seems to be probably about 15 to 20 centimeters clearance between your desk and the actual bottom of the case. It means obviously you've got optimum amount of airflow to flow for your PSU. But also on the edges of these, we have got 4 very nice gripped rubber feet here. They've actually got a bit of texture on there to obviously stop the case from moving around, anti-vibration, etc. We've also got a lock mechanism here to easily remove the actual front panel, to make it a bit easier for you to take the front panel off. So moving on to the top section, we have got a bar here, which I assume is going to be some form of power LED bar, or it might even be hard drive LED indicator. We've also got a smaller one there, so I'll see which one's which, I'm not 100% too sure. You've got your power button on that side, you've got a small reset button on that side that's actually quite easy to actually press in. 2 USB 2.0, your microphone headphone in, and you've also got your dedicated fan controller up at the top here with a low, a stop and a high. So it's quite a nice simple look to the actual top I/O panel. Obviously nice that they've included a fan controller there. Moving a bit further up at the top, you can see this sort of ridged area up at the top with the 2 120mm fans on the inside here. Doesn't appear to be any sort of dust filtering up at the top here, but all in all it's a very, very nice looking exterior of a case. Okay, so let's now take the side panel off and have a look on the inside here. Also you can see the actual punched out area. I see the 120mm fan mount. I'm taking a closer look at the inside. You can see obviously the pre-installed cables that come with the actual case. We've got a front USB 3.0 header that does split to a USB 2.0 header if you do wish. You've got HD audio along with your power LED power switch, etc. Really like the fact that despite the price of the actual case, they've included black cables, black connectors on here. So a big thumbs up to Antec for doing that. I'm just going to remove the accessories box from down there and try and stick those cables out of the way. Okay, so on the inside of the case itself, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes here for cable management. They're not rubber grommeted, but they are rolled, so you're not going to cut your finger on there. Also, we've got bottom mounted PSU down here, as I've already mentioned. Quite a nice size window here for a CPU cooler change if you did need to actually do that. Obviously the mounts for the motherboard are actually pre-installed. So let's now go over to this side of the actual case. Looking at the storage options, you have got room here for 4 3.5-inch drives, as well as an SSD mount up at the top here, which looks to be quite a simple design in the case of literally just, I'm going to have to do it from the other side, but literally just sliding your SSD into there, so you've got a dedicated area for that. You've also got room here for obviously the front 120mm fan to blow air through the actual case itself, so it's quite a bit of room there. Obviously it does mean that you are able to install a longer graphics card into that area as well. So it's not overloaded with storage options. You've got 4 bays down here, which, to be fair, with a case of this size, you probably wouldn't be looking more than that anyway. So it's quite nice that they've left this area here to obviously aid with ventilation and to more or less improve the overall look. Up at the top we have got these sort of screw-in options here for your 5.25-inch bays up at the top. You've also got the 3.5-inch mount on the inside here, which I'll show you in a bit more detail in a moment. Just looking at the bottom PSU area, we've actually got some rubber strips here to obviously help with anti-vibration from the actual PSU, obviously to raise it off a little bit from the actual bottom. And then if I move this up a little bit, you can see the pre-installed 120mm black fan up here as well. That's obviously been pre-installed, along with the actual ventilation covers on the actual PCI slots. Now moving on to the motherboard side, obviously we've got handles on the actual panels itself, and obviously again this one's obviously punched out to enable the cable management to go a little bit better there for you. And on the back, as you can see, it's already been quite nicely cable managed. Obviously all the black connectors are here. You've got a Molex connector here for the fan controller up at the top, and obviously sort of extenders here with regards to the actual fan controller, the back 120mm fan. You've also got labels here for you to actually go ahead and install additional 3-pin fans to the actual controller here. So it's quite nice that you are able to install some additional fans there. Apart from that, you've got a couple of tie-down options. This area down here is punched inwards a little bit to also enable a bit more cable management, because there really is no room down on this side here to actually stick any cables down. You've also got the actual holes that I've already mentioned there for you to run and route cables through. And also you've got the hole up at the top here for you to go and plug the power through to the actual motherboard. Okay, so onto the locking mechanism for the actual front panel. I'm just going to quickly show you this. All you need to do is slide it there, pull it off, and then the actual cover comes off. So let me just put you back down a moment so that we can obviously have a closer look at that when it is actually off. So I'm just going to pull that off there, and you can see that obviously we have got some filtration across the front. We've got a fan filter here, which is very easily removed. You basically just slide it out, undo the actual clip, slide it out, very easy to clean and keep maintained. In behind here, you can see that we've just moved the case back a little bit so you get a better view. You can see that also we've got a mount here for a 120mm fan up at the top and also down at the bottom. Primarily, obviously, up at the top is where you're going to want to install at least one fan to obviously aid the air going through the actual case onto the GPU, onto the actual motherboard. Installing the fan at the bottom is also going to cool any 3.5-inch drives that you have down there. But it's very easy, very simple to actually remove that front panel, which is something that is really nice. You don't have to take the complete top panel off. Obviously, with the fact that it is very easy to actually remove this particular panel and clean it, it means that you don't have to take the front fascia off, which is a really nice implementation from Antec. Okay, so onto the roof of the case. Again, also we've got this locking mechanism on here. When it's set to open, you literally just slide it. It doesn't really look like it's gonna sort of do anything, but you can literally slide it and pull the actual top section off to reveal the two 120mm fans that are pre-installed. Unfortunately, there isn't any dust filtering along the actual top. Obviously, it will be exhausting air out of the actual roof, but it still would have been nice to see a little bit of filtration up at the top there. But you can see that you've got very easy access to actually change and swap out these fans if you do wish to obviously swap that out. With regards to water cooling, you're not going to be able to do any form of real water cooling on this particular case. You're going to be very, very tight for room. Potentially it is possible, but I probably wouldn't recommend going down that route with this particular case. It is mainly obviously designed for air cooling, but obviously very easy, very simple to actually get into this panel, which is really, really good to see. Okay, so now onto the accessories box, and we can have a quick look and see what we actually get in the actual box itself. So I'm just going to try and open this up. Inside here you're going to find your hard drive rails. You can see quite an abundance of them. Very easy and very simple to use. You literally just push them into the side of the hard drive, slide them into the actual hard drive bays down at the bottom there. Very easy to do. You've also got some anti-vibration pads here, which are nice to be included. A whole bundle of actual screws, black screws, speaker washers, etc. Again, a sort of bundle of cable wraparound ties, warranty information, and then you also do have inside here a product overview, which is obviously going to tell you what's what and where things are. In addition to that, you also have this documentation here, which is basically going to tell you how to remove the actual front and roof panels, as well as install 2.5 inch and 2.5 inch hard drives, SSDs, etc., and obviously the toolless operation for the optical 5.25 inch bays. Okay, so I just want to go over the technical specifications for the actual case and obviously the key features. Now, in terms of the cooling options, you are able to install two 120mm top mounted fans. Antec claim that you are able to install a 240mm radiator up at the top as well. My personal thoughts is it's going to be extremely tight to actually do that. Obviously, you do have the external holes in there as well on the back of the case if you do want to somehow mount the radiator externally to the case, but myself personally, I would consider this case to be more of air cooling. And with regards to that, you do get obviously the 120mm fan at the back of the case and the two 120mm fan front intakes, and also there's obviously the option to install one on the side panel as well to obviously aid with the cooling of GPUs, etc. Because of the punched out panel on the main side of the actual case, it does mean that you are able to install a CPU cooler with a maximum height of 158mm. In terms of storage, you have got two 5.25 inch toolless bays up at the top, a floppy drive bay or a 3.25 inch with a sort of front fascia, four toolless hard drive bays, 3.5 inch, and obviously then you do have the SSD drive bay on top of that stack of hard drive bays. In terms of I/O, you've obviously got two USB 3.0, an audio in and out, and also up at the top you do have a 2-channel fan controller, which is a real nice addition to this type of case, especially within the price range that it's coming in at. Apart from that, I'll say it will support a standard size PSU, standard ATX motherboard, micro ATX and mini ITX as well. There isn't a great deal of cable management behind the actual motherboard tray. However, obviously you do have the holes, you do have the tie down options there for you to obviously assisting in getting the cables managed and tucked away nice and neatly. The case itself is also available in a windowed version. So now to my personal thoughts about the GX500 from Antec. The case itself at the moment, at the time of shooting this video, is around about £40 on Amazon. Now, considering everything that you are actually getting, obviously you're getting a couple of fans that are included. In fact, you're getting three. You've also got the fan controller. You've got a nice look to the actual case. You've got fan filters. You're getting quite a lot of product for your money, especially at that price range. And to go along with that, it's not a bad looking case at all. I quite like the front design with the mesh across the actual front and the ribbed look to the top of the actual case. The fact that you are able to remove the fan filters or the actual covers on those areas very easily and clean your fan filters is another good plus point. Even though you haven't got an abundance of SSD support, The fact that they have obviously included that in a case of this size, you're not going to be filling it full of SSDs or hard drives, because obviously essentially you'd probably be looking for a bigger case. But I do like the black interior. It would have been nice to see some rubber grommets, but at £40 I can't really sort of begrudge them that. The black cables, use of black cables and obviously black connectors is again another bit of attention to detail. So overall, you are getting a very nice looking case with some good features that are probably normally found in cases that are a little bit more expensive, and the fact that it's coming in at the price that it is means that it's going to be a very competitive case in the market, and I would actually recommend it if you are looking for a case on the budget, or you are looking for a smaller case such as this. So we hope you liked the unboxing and overview. I've got to apologise for my friend the bird that was sitting up in the tree. It's been annoying me all flipping day long. But apart from that, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this particular case. And we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video. We hoped you liked our video review. If you did, then please leave a like, as well as any comments or questions you may have down below. Full details and specifications on this item can be found at our website, nismotech.com, along with all the links for purchasing if you wish. Also on our site you'll find our latest reviews and current giveaways, plus a lot more. We look forward to seeing you in our next review.